Have released the wave god himself, Max B, and we have yet to hear from Jim Jones. Let me explain. If you guys didn't know, this is Charlie Wingate, aka Max Bigavelli, aka the Boss Don, aka the Silver Surfer, also known as the Wave. Yes, he is the one that created the term wave. And he also played a big part of New York rap and fashion culture, so let's get it. Maxing out, no pun intended, on an 8-year bid in 2005, Max B was released. Yes, this is not the first time in this story that we're going to talk about him getting released from prison. But upon being released, Max linked up with one of the biggest up-and-coming New York rappers at the time, Jim Jones. Now, if you're familiar with Jim Jones around this time, or just New York rap culture in general, then you would know that though Jim Jones was part of Dipset, it was technically considered Cameron's sidekick. So being that Max B was under the wing of Jim Jones, it was kind of odd that, you know, a sidekick being a sidekick of a sidekick. But nonetheless, under those wings, Jim Jones allowed Max B to join Bird Gang. Bird Gang was pretty much Jim Jones' version of Young Money. It was actually created before Young Money, but you could think of it as if Robin from Batman got a whole bunch of other Robins, was like, yo, let's team together and make a superhero group. And mind you, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just gotta put everything in perspective. But out of all the birds in the nest, Max B had the biggest potential. And here's why. Cause see, Max B was different. He wasn't like all the other rappers that, you know, was trying to portray a gangster image and all that. Though he was gangster, he was still wavy with it, no pun intended. Still flowy with it, no pun intended. To me, Max B is practically the essence of Cameron and Jim Jones put together. And trust me, the whole world knew this, which is why Cameron was able to put him on the hook for You Gotta Love It. And if you go listen to that song, you would see he has some of the waviest hooks in the world. Like, I know Jay-Z was listening to this, just like, damn, dipshit. But it is sad to say that one of his best moments doesn't even have his name on it, all because of one man, Jim Jones. Now, if you guys remember, I mentioned that Jim Jones was the one that introduced Max B to Bird Gang. You know, technically put him on, but what I will admit was Max B was Max B before he met Jim Jones, meaning he already had that style and swag. If anything, he introduced it to the members of Bird Gang. And with that being said, he had writing credits on a particular individual's pretty much biggest album ever, this guy. Yes, for those that don't know, Max B is said to be the writer of one of Jim Jones' biggest songs ever. Remember that song, We Fly, No Lie, and You Know It Is Bowling? Yeah, no, he wrote that song. That's his song. You can actually find articles of Jim Jones saying that Max B had nothing to do with the song and that honestly nobody's ever wrote for him. But funniest thing in the world is that when you go look up who the song was written by, it doesn't have nobody. But it just so happened that Max B had got locked up for a whole nother case that I might make a video on before the song dropped. And in case you guys didn't know, that case actually cost him 18 years of his life, so he couldn't even defend himself during the whole entire time. The side note I want to mention is that we wouldn't have French Montana if it wasn't for Max B. Do your research. French Montana was actually one of the first people that Max B linked up with when he got out of prison. Eventually, Max B cut ties with Jim Jones after realizing he wasn't going to get what he was owed. If you're interested to hear the story about how he got locked up and everything, it's crazy, I promise you. Don't forget to like, follow, and comment down below.